Hello. Today I've got vocal citizen, otherwise known as Deborah.
Hello, how
Hello.
are you?
Very well, thank you. I was desperate to ask some questions of vocal citizen, but we've hit record straight away, so I know nothing about her other than what I've picked up from watching some of her reaction videos. So, where should we
I am an
start?
open book.
I was You're
I
an
am.
open book. I was thinking, because there's a lot of people that particularly like Ren, I know you do a lot of other
I do.
groups and musicians. I think you mentioned your daughter introduced you
Yes,
to Ren.
that
Is
is
that true?
true. I was
Okay.
bound at the time. I think the video had been out about 3 months, and she came up to visit me. Get into the bedbound stuff later, but I
Yeah,
had
yeah.
stopped doing reactions because I became bedbound. And she showed me this video, and it actually took me a couple of days. She had already traveled back to her home before I watched it. Instantly addicted. His artistry, his uniqueness, his the way everybody calls him bardcore now, and that's absolutely true. The true storytellers are starting to erode away, and he, I believe, is the next generation of the proper storyteller, also being multifaceted and multi-talented.
Yeah. So were you already doing reaction videos though? I
I
mean,
started.
did she introduce you because of
Well,
that
no,
or?
actually, I had started my channel when the pandemic hit. And I was very,
Okay.
very heavy then. All the videos are still up because I don't care. That was my truth at the time, so there it
Yeah.
is. And I sat in front of my television, my tiny little television, and watched the TV, and they would pause it, like all kinds of techie stuff. But
Okay.
then, and I did them up through about the middle of 2022. And I had about 1,700 subscribers at the time. And then my health continued to diminish. I became bedbound, and I just started again on June 12th of this year.
Yeah, I think I saw something people were saying in the comments, welcome back, welcome back. It's nice to see you, which is really sweet. But obviously I don't know any part of that story. So you're doing some reaction videos. Is that because of health reasons are you not working? What's happening?
Well, the story is long and vast, and I'm overly verbose, so I'm going to condense it.
Oh no, I love the details. But go on.
I have job jumped a lot because first I was a military brat. Both of my parents were in the Air Force. Then I was a military wife. And then I
Okay.
started moving around, had my daughter. I was kind of raising her on my own because her dad was stationed around the world in different top secret stations. And life kind of got rough, as it does for many single mothers. Um, I matriculated back to where I live, and my mother passed in 2013, and then I started having health problems. Then they thought I had Crohn's disease. It turned out to be ulcerative colitis. In 2016, I almost died from sepsis because my colon fell apart when the surgeon took it out. I got a right side ileostomy, which I love. I love my ostomy. I
Okay.
highly recommend them for anybody. It makes it so much easier. I'm literally in and out of the
Okay.
bathroom, including washing up within 3 minutes. It's great. Anyway.
Yeah. It's all fine. Yeah.
But and I have 4 degenerative systems in my body. I've got severe spinal stenosis and degenerative disc disease. Obviously, my intestines, that kind of thing, are degenerative. I have primary sclerosing cholangitis, which is basically like having an alcoholic's liver, even though I don't drink alcohol. It's degenerating on its own. And I have chronic supraventricular tachycardia. People know it as SVT. Basically, the electrical part of my heart does whatever it wants. So I do have an internal cardiac monitor implanted, and I have a spinal cord stimulator implanted in my back that helps me walk. That's what helped me not be bedbound, which is why I started doing reactions again.
Yeah. But did your daughter introduce you to Ren because you were doing reaction videos or because of his health
No,
story? What was
She
the
liked the
trigger?
song. My daughter herself is a singer. If anybody wants
Okay.
to look her up, just go Google. You can look on my channel,
Okay.
Sierra Ray, R-A-E, and the word Villanelle.
Mm-hmm.
And it will
Okay.
you'll hear her sing an aria in French that will put chills through your whole body. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
she introduced me to Red because she heard the song, she thought it was fascinating, and she suggested, "You ought to react to this, Mom." That's what I told her when she
Yeah.
was standing next to my bed. Baby, I'm not doing reactions right now because I couldn't sit up, I couldn't walk, yada yada.
Yeah.
So I missed the Ren train because I would have been one of the first ones on it.
Yeah.
But that's why I only have a few Ren reactions, and it's mostly his older stuff because if I've heard the song or seen the video, I won't do a reaction to it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know. There's a lady I interviewed called Jess from Film Finds, and she was saying exactly the same thing. Is that she's already watched the most popular
Right.
songs. She's already watched them, and she's watched a ton of
Mhm.
reaction videos. So she made what she called an analysis video, just really just chatting about all the things that she's spotting and noticing. And I thought that was a useful, because for me, her take on it was still really
Oh, sure.
interesting. But she couldn't do a reaction. She couldn't do the the shock bit.
I am actually sad that I wasn't able to do one in particular off of Sick
Yeah.
Boy, and that was Seven Sin. If you take out the depression, because for some reason my brain
Mhm.
does not do that. I think I'm broken. I'm a broken
Okay.
toy. I've been that way my whole life. But I don't do depression, and I never had psychosis. Other than those two things, I
Yeah.
have messaged him and told him, "You caught my lightning in your bottle." Every word where he's
Yeah.
talking about crawling, clawing at the laminate and being ricocheted, hot hit by hot lead in the bed. All of that. Have you ever felt
Yeah.
pain, stomach wrenching, unrelenting? All of those words. I should have written those words about my experience. He
Yeah.
captured my lightning in his bottle. That's the second song I heard by him. And when I realized that he was in my brain, I was in for life.
Yeah. There's something about hearing somebody else put it into words, what you're
I'm getting emotional.
experiencing. It's just, you're getting
Yeah.
emotional.
It was hard. Just the 17 months that I was stuck in the bed, and I've almost died 3 times
Yeah.
in the last 10 years. Acute pancreas. I can't talk today. Acute pancreas.
Yeah. Yeah. That one.
Sepsis, and
Yeah.
then sepsis again in the last 3 years. That's not counting the times that my heart has glitched out and they've had to rush in to save me. So I've looked dead in the eye. That's what that painting is about. He's looming,
Yeah.
but you can find serenity in the fact that he's coming for all of us, and have a great time
Yeah.
in the meantime.
Yeah. What's I was watching a channel, was the Stoic, and they've said memento mori or something like, and it's basically remember we die. And the idea is live today, because yes, we do, just even though it may be great or it may be terrible, but just remember it's not forever. So
That's right.
make the most of what you got. So anyway, I digress. And I'm curious, all these different health things that you have, what was your experience with the medical profession? Were you supported? I think there's a lot of us who follow Ren that are very interested in the whole gaslighting and different things, but I don't want to put words in your mouth. You may have had a great experience.
I didn't at first.
Okay.
I have to be careful because I work in the legal field. I'm technically an officer of the court.
Okay.
Pardon me. And secondly, because I have not received the award that was adjudicated mine yet. So I have to be careful.
Oh, okay.
But suffice it to say, when they first thought that I had Crohn's disease, I was selling cars at the time. I sold
Okay.
brand new Hondas for O'Neill Honda in Overland Park, which is defunct. It's not there anymore. I loved the job. I was the only female salesperson, and I was in second place in sales over everybody. So really nice. But anyway, when I was working there, they decided to put me on Humira. I won't name the doctor because he's the one I won the judgment from.
Okay.
He was giving me Humira knowing that my liver was not well with primary sclerosing cholangitis. And I have a test
Okay.
twice a year called a fibroscan. Basically, you lay on your side, you put your arm up, and they hit you with this little plunger thing to test the, I guess, malleability of your liver to assess its health.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when he put me on the Humira, completely different doctor, but when he put me on the Humira, it made my liver worse. It accelerated the degeneration.
Yeah.
So I didn't have Crohn's. This doctor who did this and forced me to go on the Humira and kicked my liver into
Yeah.
overdrive, which just means I'm going to die faster, but I'm good with it. I smile every day. So I know it's going. It's all good. But long story short, too late. With the exception of that doctor messing me up, all of my other specialists, I have 2 heart specialists, one for the electrical, one for the muscle side. I have a GI doctor, Dr. Lena O'Brien at Menorah Medical Center in Overland Park, Kansas. She saved my life thrice now. I also want to shout out Rick O'Neill, who used to own O'Neill Honda, because if he hadn't stuck his nose where it didn't belong and said, you need to go see this guy, I would be dead now. I would have died in 2016.
Yeah.
But yeah, it started, other than that stuff, the medical community is fantastic, and they spend hours and hours and hours and years learning their craft. The last thing they're trying to do is screw you over or just make money from pharmaceuticals. They've devoted the majority of their lives and their education because they want to fix people, so you can trust them. Sorry.
Okay.
I get
Okay. Yeah. I don't know what I have to say about that. I think what I'm curious about is you've had you've had really good experiences. I want to stress you've had good experiences. You have a negative one, but did you automatically feel that you had the power to say, no, this is a bad experience and I'm going to stand up for myself? Or were you too ill at that point?
I was giving the Humira a chance at the time, I believe, my doctor, and I thought I had Crohn's. Turns out I had ulcerative colitis.
Yeah.
And that's what almost killed me because he misdiagnosed me. I find that a lot of doctors say what they feel like they need to say because as soon as they look at your symptoms, what's bringing you into the office today, they form an idea of what it is, and they run with that. They find qualifiers. They look for the qualifiers for their predetermined, prognosis. I think that Ren, just as my mother did, my mother was misdiagnosed. She had bipolar disorder for decades. She was unmedicated for decades for bipolar. They were medicating her for everything else, which was just making her life much more different. So I'm not going to stand here and protest that all doctors are paying attention, that they're not just pill pushers and trying to get you out the door. Ren got a really, really shoddy deal. I got a shoddy deal with the doctor who messed up my liver and prolonged and almost killed me with my colon because he misdiagnosed me and was giving me things that was making my liver worse. So I guess in that sense, I can sort of mirror what Ren went through, but Lyme disease and the length of time he went without being properly diagnosed did so much damage to his brain, to his body. I have to eat a specialized diet because I have an ostomy. Very sad because I miss walnuts and popcorn and stuff like that. But he has to almost eat a paleo diet. And that's rough on the body. So I can understand people's trepidation in not wanting to believe a doctor's. That's why our grandmas have always told us, always get a second opinion. And if you're not satisfied with it, get a third opinion. I'm a Malvi, B-I-T-C-H. I'm not a Karen, but I'm Malvi. When I walk into doctors, I say, I don't want kid gloves. I don't want you to try to make me feel better about the situation. I want you to tell me what's wrong with me and what the next step
Yeah.
is. So I have never cowed back to
Yeah.
the homage that people give to doctors because they have a fancier degree than I do. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, it does make sense. But it was also the reason why I wanted to interview you. I just had this feeling that here is somebody who thinks very differently to me and and I guess has had different experiences. Because for me I was not told by any kind of grandparents of ask for a second opinion. I was told the doctor knows best, the teacher knows best, the authority, I was very much in that child position of you turn up, they say what's wrong, and you go, okay, thank you very much, and you go away. And so for you to turn around and say, this was wrong and this wasn't right, I'm going to go to the court system now, I'm going to do... And I thought it was interesting that you did a sales job as well, because I was going to ask you if you had a radio background because you're so quick in the way that you're speaking. And is this from the sales job, do you think? Or is this just naturally the vibe?
I get to say it now. I have been a clown my entire life. I've been a bookworm my entire life.
Okay.
I've been OCD my entire life. I've been a flawed human in a lot of ways. I've been 10 years clean from gambling, but I almost nuked my life 10 years ago with gambling. I definitely have flaws. But I was raised by a very strong mother, may she rest in peace. A very strong dad. He's at work right now. Actually, he's upstairs right now because he's been my caregiver since I became ill. And I had a very strong older sister with whom I still have the closest relationship. I've got a strong daughter. I was blessed with being born and raised around the world since my parents were in the military. I started school in West Germany back when it was West Germany and Guam.
That was going to be my next question. Where have you lived? Yeah.
Okay, well, I can do that. But my point being to answer your to finish up on your previous question, I've always been overly verbose. I've always wanted to make people laugh and smile. And I compliment. Every time I go to Walmart, I pass out no fewer than 20 compliments just randomly to people because it makes me feel good. And being a positive person, even in the face of adversity and sickness and facing death and illness, the world just feels better if you approach it from a positive standpoint. You still have to deal with it, but you have a choice whether to be upbeat and positive, which might actually help you come up with a solution, or be down in the dumps and give up.
Okay.
Your turn.
Have you ever... I want to ask you about where you've lived, but I'm curious, first of all, has the conversation about neurospicy type of thing ever been raised with you? Or
neurospicy?
About, as in ADHD or anything like that? Is that something that's ever crossed your path? Or
No, I've always been super animated. I think perhaps, and my sister and I have discussed this, because our mother, who would have given you a shirt off her back, she was the kindest person ever. But she had bipolar disorder, but we didn't know that. We just thought she was having bad days and this sort of thing. I always wanted to be the one to bring the mood back up because we didn't know she had bipolar. So I became the silly animated one. My sister joined me, but she was a little more, she's more artistic and creative and back here. And I was just that. I've always been that person. And it probably stemmed from trying to elevate the mood because I'm overly empathic, and I can walk into a room and I can tell what person this person's stewing, this one's mad at me, and this one's uncomfortable because that one's stewing. Do you know what I mean? So I do it to make myself feel better, not to be the center of attention, but to lighten the mood so I feel comfortable being in the room.
Yeah. I follow quite a few different comedians. I'm very interested in that world. And I think it was Jimmy Carr, and he was saying you ought to ask a comedian which one of his parents was sick. That's what you should ask all comedians, because it's about, you lifting that mood, you notice it, and then you're the one that lifts the mood in the room. I thought it's fascinating. It's really interesting that you mentioned that. So we'll bounce back to, where else have you lived then?
I'll go through the list.
Oh gosh.
Here we go. I was born in 1972 in Independence, Missouri. It's right outside of Kansas City. My mother joined the military. She moved my sister and I to South Carolina. She was stationed at Charleston Air Force Base. That's where she met the man I call my dad. The other one's just the sperm donor. He died a long time ago. We don't care about him.
Oh, okay.
He was not good people. So my dad was also in the Air Force. My mother, he adopted my sister and I because the biological father signed the papers saying that he could. That's the only good thing he ever did. We moved to West Germany, Ramstein Air Force Base in West Germany. And that's where I started kindergarten when I was 4. We stayed there for 4 years, traveled all over, castle climbing and being exposed to French people and Spanish and Portuguese. And oh, it was beautiful. The only place I didn't get to go is the UK. Still. Really
Still,
mad about
right?
that. And then after Germany, we moved to Altus, Oklahoma, Altus Air Force Base, Oklahoma. We were there for 3 years. The longest we were ever stationed anywhere was 4 years, and that was in Germany. After Oklahoma, we moved to Anderson Air Force Base on Guam. Tiny little island. It has a naval base at the bottom and the Air Force Base at the top, and the rest is just native people. Beautiful, beautiful island, but really small. After that, we went to, my dad got stationed at Little Rock Air Force Base in Arkansas. That is where both my sister and I graduated high school. My sister met her husband and got married just out of high school. I thought I knew everything. I did not. I had been working, and when I graduated high school, my parents got sent to Italy for their next duty station. I went out to South Carolina, made a series of mistakes, came back out to Little Rock for a small portion of time, decided I was going to be a model, moved out to San Diego and signed with Nouveau Modeling Agency and worked with them for a while as a fit model. Then I moved up to Los Angeles, met a man who decided to abuse me, left him, moved back out. I've done a lot of jumping, but I'm going to fast forward to the part where my parents had come back from Italy. They were living in Offutt Air Force Base in Nebraska. I came down to Arkansas, met the man who would become my husband and the father of my daughter. Hi, Ren. He is retired military as well.
Okay.
He retired as a captain, so he's Captain Morgan. He loves that. He loves being called Captain Morgan. It's great. Anyway, and I've moved around and around and around and around, and I'm not going to, I will tell you that I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan, but I'm not going to tell you where I live. Because people assume I live in Kansas City just because I wear Kansas City Chiefs stuff, but I'm a female and I'm OCD and I have PTSD from previous trauma, so I don't divulge where I live.
Okay. But you didn't live overseas with the husband?
No.
You didn't live overseas with your husband. It was around the States. And
we lived on, as a brat with my parents, I was overseas. And then we lived on Guam. My ex-husband, we're still great friends. We actually went to Las Vegas to go to the Star Trek experience to have a very romantic weekend when our divorce was finalized. That's how good of friends we are.
Okay.
You didn't need to know that, but I'm the vocal citizen and I say what I want. Okay. So anyway, no, he and I separated amicably, and he did travel. He was deployed Afghanistan and Korea a couple of times. Yeah, he was deployed all over the place. But I didn't go with him. I was raising our daughter because it just, his schedule and his type of work was not conducive to us sharing custody. But he was just as involved in parenting and all the big decisions that parents make. We always made those together. We were a team, even though we weren't married anymore.
Yeah. No, it's just that my husband's ex-RAF, and we've lived in different
Sure.
places. It's just obviously I'm listening to you and I'm thinking, wow, that's so different to me, and that's so different to me, and it's like, oh no, we do have some things in common. So I'm just trying to pick up all the bits, and I'm wondering. The other day I was talking and I thought, oh, in this interview I'm talking too much about myself, but it's kind of an interview. I want to know about you, but I'm also trying to connect and, I don't know, find my people and different
We
things
can
like that.
talk music if you want to.
Anyway.
We don't have to go into my background.
Talk music. Yeah, well, I've been out of the scene in terms of music. I found Ren through the health angle that I was seeing a counsellor, and she said, go listen to Ren.
He's wonderful.
And so as I've come into that and the reaction videos, now I ended up buying myself a radio for the kitchen because I just stopped listening to music. So, do you know what I mean? I was just completely out of the loop. And then really the reaction videos are kind of guiding me back in. So I noticed that you were doing tons of different people that you do the reaction video. So you're in music. Is this your lane? Do you have a background in music? Because the way you talk about it sometimes sounds like you have something education-wise or experience-wise to do with music.
I have always chosen to surround myself with creatives. I painted this.
Mhm.
I painted this. But I could, if I lived to be 1,000, I couldn't paint that. I dabble
Okay.
at the artistic stuff. The way I'm artistic is through writing. I'm writing a children's book right now. I'm a paralegal. I'm more of a brainiac than anything else.
Mhm.
So in answer to your question, I have always been attracted to creatives, whether they're famous or just burgeoning. I find myself drawn to people who are creative. So in that vein, my sister and I, when we used to live out in Lake Havasu City, Arizona, I knew somebody who was in a band. They were burgeoning. They didn't have anybody to promote them. My sister, Jessica, is a tech guru. Anytime back then, especially if people had a problem with their computers, where's Jessica? They would all bring them to her. So she handled videos and we would film, and we got into promotion. That band evolved into another band and that kind of thing. So about that much musical experience as far as working in it. We helped to promote bands and get them booked at festivals and venues and stuff like this.
Okay.
That being said, I did not listen to music growing up until my sister begged me to listen to music with her. And I realized that was yet another way for us to connect. Since then, I rarely ever don't have music playing. Unless I'm watching TV or I'm working, I still listen to music even when I'm doing my paralegal work. I just listen to classical music because it has no lyrics.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love freaky people. I love weird and wonky people. I like what I call unicorns. Chinchilla is a unicorn.
Yes, I heard you say.
Ren is a unicorn.
Yeah.
Freddie Mercury, right here, my babe. Unicorn. That's what I love about music. That's what I'm drawn to. And I'll listen to regular things, but I like the weird ones, the ones that most other people are. Excuse me? No.
Right.
Me, I'm like, yeah, give me more because I love it.
Yeah. But are you thinking, is it particularly the word side of it, or is it to do with the actual music part of it? What is it that is attracting you? Is it their use of language, or?
You mean in terms of the band?
I mean, like for Ren, I think you commented particularly about how he was expressing and being inside of your mind and your experience. Is it that part of it, or is it that, oh, I like the beat and the, I don't know.
Well, if you get me started on the music construction, listen, I cannot claim to be an apt student of music theory, but I can tell you my daughter she doesn't use it to make money, but my daughter is an accomplished singer. She also has taught herself piano and guitar. So I know a lot of the music terminology from her, but for the most part, I have been a student of weird, crazy compositions instance, I decided that I was going to marry Prince when I was 14.
Okay.
Okay, because Prince was my first unicorn. I was like, who is this tiny little man with this voice who can move like that, play every instrument he could pick up, has perfect pitch. He was my first unicorn. And he was hot. And I really wanted to marry him. But I was 14.
Yeah.
I wasn't Apollonia. So.
Yeah.
So ever since then, I have I may not know all the technical words, but I know what my ears like. And being OCD, I have picked up on, for the Skeeler Brothers, for example, when Zach, who composes all of the music and makes the beats and stuff like that, he chooses to put the most unconventional textures into his beats.
Yeah.
Just for the, okay, am I allowed to cuss on your show?
Yeah. I don't, but I knew that you did, so I'm not going to stop you.
We're half an hour in. It's been so hard.
You did. You bleeped yourself out one time. I did notice that.
We didn't talk before the interview, so I was like, oh my God. Like, I'm known, like, that's
yeah.
the tagline is that I'm the vocal singer, so I said whatever I want. I'm glad I asked.
I thought it was kind of sweet that you bleeped yourself out. It was almost like I could hear your mind working. It's like, oh, am I allowed to do that? Yeah.
Get here and just here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to take a drink of my drink. Join me.
No, that's good. No, it's just, yes, I will. So I think that was one of the things I noticed in a couple of reaction videos that I saw. You seem to know some of the terminology. You seem to know some of the language when discussing it. But it sounds like you've absorbed that being around your daughter and just being around listening to music.
Yes. When I go to Walmart, I'm that weird woman. I'm almost 52. I call myself a level 52 human because it's more fun to say it that way.
Yeah.
It's more fun to say so I'm the 52-year-old woman that you see in Walmart with the AirPods in, doing this while I'm shopping in the bean aisle because people can film me. I don't care. I am happiest when I'm having fun.
Yeah.
And I don't infringe on other people, and I'm not loud and annoying, and I don't involve other people in it to bother their day. I would not do well in the UK because I would walk into the room and be like, how's everybody's day? You know, because I'm just that person. So
I think that's great, but that's not my experience of the world. Do you know what I mean? I'm constantly looking for other people, as in, is this okay? And am I allowed? And being very shy. And so all of this is, as I get older too, it's just, I'm not sure anybody really cares. You know, and I'm waiting for them to give me permission a lot of the time.
Permission, go.
But I'm working on that. No. I mean, I'd be doing a YouTube channel. Nobody's giving you permission to do a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
You know, so I was watching somebody talk about a YouTube channel the other day, and they were saying how people make fun of you at the beginning and different things. So I do think if you're going to start creating and doing stuff like this, you've got to have a little bit of sense within you of, I am called to do this, and that's the way it goes.
The way I look at making reaction videos, I call myself an introverted extrovert. I don't like leaving my cave. I'm very happy at home. I rarely go into my yard because being inside is where all the stuff I want to do is. But you have to be comfortable within yourself because you're stuck with who you are. Like, my body is betraying me, but this is one of my favorite sayings. And if nobody remembers anything from me, from this interview, please remember this, because it'll make your life a whole lot easier. Your brain is who you are. Your body is just the core. Sometimes we get lemons. You got to change the brake shoes. Food is fuel. If you put crap in your car engine, your car's going to run like crap. Okay. But every once in a while, it's cool to have an air freshener, i.e. a chocolate bar or half a chocolate cake. But your body is your car, and you got to take care of your car. And if your car starts having glitches as you get older, which it will, You got to roll with that and keep this is who you are. Don't forget that.
I'm curious. You said that you'd had a break and then you came back in June. Was
12th,
it this
yes.
year? Yeah. So how long was the break for?
I had posted a Tom McDonald video 10 months prior to my June I can't talk today, to my June 12th return. So 10 months prior to that, I posted one, and before that, it had been a year and a half. So I was gone about 2.5 years from on occasion,
and that
I would post one, but I'd have to get really, really, really cannabised up. It's legal here.
Okay.
Just to be able to sit upright to do them, and it got to be too much, so I stopped. Once I got my stimulator and got my muscles back in shape, that's when I started on June the 12th.
Yeah. Okay. I'm curious, did you ever think of making videos like lying down or anything? Did you ever feel that was a possibility?
I did a few of those. I did quite a number of them with my hair awful and no makeup on. I'm like, hi, I'm here.
Yeah.
Just because I wanted to post something. So yeah, I did do that, but I got bitten 3 times by a black widow spider, which took me out for a while. And look, my body doesn't like me. My brain likes me, but my body doesn't like me. And so my viewers, thankfully, because I'm coming up on 7,000 somehow. Because in June, I started with the 1,700 subscribers I had accrued.
Okay.
Nobody
right.
left.
Okay.
And now I'm almost to 7,000 just since June 12th. And I've had a number of times since then where I've had to take time, weeks, without filming reactions. In fact, since I'm doing this interview with you today, my makeup's on, I'm sitting in my studio. My viewers are going to be happy because I'm actually going to be able to film a couple before my back says that's enough, and I have to go get horizontal again. Just the way my life works.
Yeah.
Just the way my life works.
Yeah. No, it's just that I've had different health things, and I was thinking I was okay, no makeup and the hair and stuff. But I was worried that people would watch and think, oh, she looks ill, and be too preoccupied with that rather than what I was talking about. That was one of my concerns, because I lost quite a lot of hair at one point and things like that. And I thought, oh, I look ill. And I don't mind being ill, but I don't want that to be the conversation, if that makes sense. I want to talk about fun things.
I was going to ask, but I didn't want to ask, and I'm glad I didn't ask what you're.
Yeah, well, my current diagnosis is chronic fatigue, but the chronic fatigue. So it's like, but I went through if you're diagnosed with chronic fatigue, it tends to be, they rule out a load of nasties, and then what's left is, we don't know, so we'll call it chronic fatigue. Well, certainly that's how it feels. But as I say, I don't really want to have a YouTube channel which is, hey, I want to talk about health things. I want that to be, that exists, but I want to talk about fun things. And I want to listen to music, and I want to be inspired by creatives and stuff. So I was worried that people would look at me and just see illness. That's why I ask you so much about it.
Well, I like to talk about illness, but my family's so tired of hearing about it because it has been my life for 10 years.
Yeah.
And I stopped working in 2018 after my second stoma revision. And when you have a stoma, it is a hernia. And when it's not painful, but when you have a stoma, it is a hernia. So if you herniate that hernia, it's awful. And I had to go through that and have another corrective surgery. I also love to, since we're talking about medical things, because I love to freak people out with this. Right after I got my stoma, in 2016, my surgeon, Dr. O'Brien, said, we'll get together in December and we'll talk about your possibilities for takedown surgery. Now, what takedown surgery is, They took my entire colon out. Actually, it just fell out because that's what was killing me with sepsis at
Okay.
the time. So they took the end of my small intestine, poked it through my stomach, and rolled it back like a sock. And they sew it's really small, looks like a raspberry, literally.
Yeah.
Okay. And I wear a
Yeah.
sticky bag over it. And then I met with her after the 3 months, and I loved my stoma so much. She was like, "So when do you want to schedule the takedown surgery? That's where they take the stoma out and attach it to your bum so you can go to the bathroom like regular toilet dwellers."
Yeah.
When I went in to have that meeting with her, and she was like, when would you like to schedule takedown surgery? And I was like, I would not, but have a good day.
Yeah.
And she said, no one's ever told
Yeah.
me they want to keep their bag. And I'm like, I love my bag. 3 months later,
Yeah.
the ulcerative colitis, I'm good. Trigger warning. When they remove your entire colon, they leave about that much. It's called a rectal stump that's attached to the end of your bum that reaches the outside world. I got the UC and it started attacking that. So they removed my whole bum. I have a Barbie butt.
Okay.
It's just a scar. I'm so happy. I'm the most ladylike person. No one can ever blame it on me. According to my family, I no longer have an opinion because you know what they say about opinions.
Yeah.
I'm not entitled to an opinion anymore. So then I do reaction videos so I can give my opinion.
So, give your opinion that way.
Yeah.
No, it's yeah. There's quite a few people that follow me that have different health things and have, and I know it's not always what people want to hear and talk about, but what I was thinking is, this is the new normal. This is my life now, and I want a life. And if that means I've got to be resting and doing different things, but I still want to create and I still want to meet people and I still want to do things, I just got to figure out how to do it. So in a way, that's what you're doing, isn't it? You're saying, okay, I'm going to rest. I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to get myself ready and do a block of recordings.
That's exactly what I do.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I do. By the way, your channel was not unknown to me.
Okay.
To be very, very relatable, very entertaining. You're well spoken.
Okay, you're going to make me blush
I'm
now.
just talking to you. I do reviews.
Thank you.
I haven't been subscribed to you for like an incredibly long time, but
Yeah.
I've been watching you for a while. I like your vibe.
Yeah.
I like your
Okay,
truth.
thank you.
I like how frank you are. When you really want to talk about something, when you really want to needle into something, you are unafraid and unabashed. And I respect that.
Yeah.
A lot.
Thank you. I'm going down some rabbit holes at the moment. There's a few things, there's a few topics, and there's a few particular lines that I think that, for example, there's one about this too shall pass. And I was thinking, okay. And then I found out there was some quotes and there was some sources. And so now I'm going off down a rabbit hole for that. It's like, what does it mean, this too shall pass? Because I think in the one song that Ren does, what is it? The chinchilla with the chalk outlines. And he was saying about when you're having a good day and you think to yourself, this too shall pass. And I was thinking, oh, that's interesting that you would be worried when you're feeling good. So I'm going off down rabbit holes, but I don't know what to do with that yet. I'm just,
everybody.
I'm enjoying it though.
And you're enjoyable to watch. So keep doing
Thank
what you're
you.
doing and just follow your intuition. Because when people subscribe to you, when people watch you, at least for me, unless you are completely obvious in your title, if it's just one of those, hey, I'm here, I'm just going to post something, I'm like, Joanne, because you always bring something interesting, and I always watch it till the end.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I feel like I don't know what the ultimate goal is. And I think some people don't believe me with that, but I really am figuring it out. I've tried things in the past, and now I've got to figure out this new normal of what this is. There's a lot happening, and there's a lot I'm figuring out what's possible. But I want to jump back to one other thing. You said that in the June you had the 1,700, and now you're almost at 7,000. What happened? Is it Ren fans, or is it just posting regularly, or what is
I
it?
have to tell you,
you've done?
unless it's a priority request, which is obviously somebody paying me to do a particular song.
Yeah.
And if I've heard a song, but I've not ever watched a live of it, I will do reactions of a live because I've not seen a
Yeah.
live performance from them. So I have done those. But in answer to your question, I wanted to start with Ren, but I had to go backward before Sick Boy.
Yeah.
And even some of those I'd seen. I saw the I Shot the Sheriff one. I think that was like the fourth one I watched, you know, and I've got a Ren playlist. It's called the Ultimate Ren Playlist. And then I have a UK Magic playlist, and Ren is on there, Chinchilla and the Skinner Brothers. Shouting out Chinchilla and the Skinner Brothers. If you're not listening to the Skinner Brothers, what are you doing with your life?
I don't even know the name.
Oh,
I only listened to the Ren and Chinchilla one about 3 or 4 days ago.
darling.
Because, the thing is, I went down the rabbit hole, didn't I? I went down the rabbit hole on the high Ren and the Cujo and different things.
I'm going to my British accent, which is a mixture of South London and Yorkshire. So I can tell you this. I feel like drugs. Write that down, please.
Sorry. You feel like drugs?
I feel like drugs.
Yeah.
And then write down the word ghost.
Ghost?
Those are 2 songs that you must listen to.
Okay.
It's ska. Ren loves the Skinner Brothers. That's what turned me on to the Skinner Brothers, and they are phenomenal. They're ska. They're a little bit of 70s UK punk, almost like Generation X was before Billy Idol split off and became his own thing. Like Susie and the Banshee, an American band called Pumpkinhead. They're delightful and yummy. You're welcome in advance.
I think it's funny that everybody's trying to educate me. It's just like, oh, you don't know this?
They're on tour right now.
Where have you been?
Yeah, they just started a UK tour.
I don't know where.
On the 1st, and they're just, I think they're in Leeds, Birmingham. It's starting to sell out. They've got an album out. Oh, yeah.
Okay, what nationality are they?
They're from
Are
South
they British?
London. Yeah.
Oh, are they?
Zach
Okay.
is the lead singer, and he wears a mask. It was a black mask. He just shifted it to a white mask that looks like it's got seams. It's a little weird, but you will love them.
Now you're mentioning a mask. I think I've
They're
seen
so
an image
good and
or something.
different and wonderful. Yeah. Yeah, I'll keep watching your videos as long as you keep posting them, whether they're music reactions or not. But I became a huge fan. I was, I think I was number 7. I was No Life Sex number 7 subscriber. Number 7.
Right.
And he's got almost 5 million subscribers now. So I've been watching reactions a long time. And when I finally got my ostomy sorted out, and the pandemic hit, I was like, okay, I'm going to start doing reactions now. Then I started getting sick, or yada, yada. You told that. What were you about to say?
I know, but I think that's so amazing that you just say, yeah, I think I'll do a reaction channel now. For me, it was like, can I hit record? No, tomorrow. Like, can I hit record? I mean, really, a different conversation is going on in my head than seems to be happening for you.
Do you know what my trick is?
I just find that fascinating. Go on.
When people are like, oh my God, you do reactions. Oh, it's so cool that you do reactions. I'm like, let me tell you what a reaction channel is. I sit down in a chair. I make it look nice behind me. I open my fucking laptop and I press record. And I'm not, in my brain, I'm not talking to zillions of people. I'm talking to the green dot right there. It's right there, the green dot.
Yeah.
If you just separate everything else out of your head and either have a script or just go off the cuff and just be Joanne. I will ride or die with you, lady. It doesn't matter what you do. Forget about the fact that people are watching. You just talk to your computer. That's it. That's all it is.
I know. Well, I was doing these daily videos because I thought I don't want to do the scripted videos. I don't want to do a how-to and talk to the camera and do that. I want people to feel like they know me and we're having a conversation. And I thought, it's just going to take a little while. I've just got to keep hitting record and I will get more relaxed.
And you'll find your niche. You'll find your audience. I'm already a member of your audience based off what you've done. And I haven't watched all of your content.
Yeah.
And I'm in like Flynn.
No.
You keep doing you and you will find your people. Do you know how annoying I am to most people? And my family's like, you've got over 1,000 subscribers? I'm like, no, I've got 6,000 and something. And
nearly 7.
And if I posted with more regularity the way I did when I first started up again in June, I would be over 10,000 subscribers by now. It's about posting every single day. My body doesn't let me do that. So I just have to ride the wave as best as I can wave it. And I'm me, and I'm annoying, and I talk too much, and I pause too long, and my tech is stupid, and people look at ads, and I don't give up. I'm just going to be me, and if people want to watch it, yay! And if they don't, I had fun doing it.
Yeah.
It's a win-win situation. You're fantastic. Do not stop. Follow your instinct. That's what I did.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
I just feel like it feels like, and this is the thing that I was trying to get through to some of the people that are watching me, is that I have a certain curiosity or something is calling me to do this, but it is insanity based on how much confidence I have speaking and different things. It's like, no, something is attracting me to do this. But if I listen to other people or I based it on my past experience, I would not be doing this. And I don't know anybody else who does YouTube, and I don't know anybody else who's a creative or anything like that. And so when people are watching me, I'm thinking, no, you don't have to know anybody, but something, that's why you're in this. When I say in this world, I mean almost like the Ren world. It's attracting a certain kind of person, isn't it? It's attracting somebody that's like, oh, I want to be around creatives. I want to be around somebody new. I want to be around, and I'm just thinking, I think that's because there's something in you, but I haven't convinced them yet.
You convinced me a while back.
Yes.
You hang in there. You be exactly who you are, because you're the only one who can be you. You have something that the world needs to see that no one else can do. Just capitalize on that and have a good time with it. Your people will come.
Yeah.
I'm going to, by the way, I'm not recording this for myself. With your permission, I would like to play it for my subscribers.
Yeah, I can send the files,
So I'll do that and play it, but I didn't want to do it because I'm not going to monetize it. That's not my deal.
No.
So you don't have to worry about that. But if you'll just let me and not block it, that would be great.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely going to shout you out.
That'd be great.
Turn other people on to your channel, because I'm going to say, if you want common sense and if you want somebody, first of all, who has the most delicious accent on the planet, you want to trade, you can take my Midwestern crap. I'll give it to you. I had to pretend to be British to feel good about myself.
You did a little bit, yeah.
Oh, I do it all the time. I'll walk into a store and I'll be like, where are your wafers? Your biscuit?
Yeah, and this is the comedian in you, isn't it? I've just started a comedy writing course, and I was hoping I would watch and just sit there quietly. And she goes, no, you've got to tell jokes and speak as well. I was like, oh, no. Like, panic coming across me.
Oh, it's so much fun, though. If you make them laugh, great. And if you don't make them laugh and they go like that, then they'll laugh about it later. So you still made them laugh. Have fun. Life is too damn short not to have fun at every moment.
Yeah. But I do think it feels like you were always in that place. And like maybe because you said your mom was ill and different things like that, I think I'm coming to that later. And in fact, I think I'm remembering that from when I was younger. I think there's been quite a long time where I was trying to prove myself, and I don't know. A lot of proving myself. And it's like, I'm not stupid. I'm capable. I can do these things. And so I hid the stupid things that I did. And now it's like, I do stupid things all the time.
I'm famous for them.
A lot more comfortable with it.
I have 2 Olympic gold medals in stupidity.
Yeah, but it doesn't make you stupid because you do stupid things sometimes. But I think I've got really sensitive about, people. I don't know whether I thought that they were looking down on me or whatever. So I was trying to prove myself, like by getting another qualification and things like that.
Well, sure.
But now I've just, now doing YouTube where you don't get a qualification, you just have to have the courage to do it.
Everybody has a
It's
voice.
very different. But again, I was thinking, yeah. And also, like you say, is just having some fun with it.
Yeah.
And I thought, I don't want to pretend to know everything about cameras. I just want to say, yeah, it didn't work yesterday, did it? Yeah.
That's exactly how I am with my stuff. I'm like, oh, yeah. I can keep having to try to censor myself. But I'll be like, oh, I messed up. Only I didn't say mess.
Yeah.
But
yeah, well, I thought I want to attract people that are okay with that. And yeah, hopefully they'll be in for the ride, that I'll get better. But for the time being, they've got to be okay that this is where I'm at. I can't pretend. And this is this chronic fatigue thing of it's too exhausting to pretend that I'm something that I'm not.
I understand that completely. I don't have chronic fatigue, but I have pernicious fatigue when my body is acting up. So what little bit I know about the chronic fatigue thing, you have my sympathy. And by the way, Miss Lady, you don't give yourself enough credit. You are highly entertaining. You are very genuine. And if you oops, then you oops. It doesn't matter. And everybody restarts their intros. Do you know how many times I hit start? What's up, YouTube? This vocal says they react. And I'm like, hang on, I got to do it again. Let me get another drink. Okay.
Yeah.
What's up, YouTube? And I'll do it like 8 times before I get it right. And then when I finally get it right, and I start getting into it, and I'm introducing a Ginger song, but I accidentally say Arch Enemy, I can do the whole thing again. Just have fun with it. You're great.
Yeah, you've encouraged me. Somebody recommended to do a song called Jessica, which was an older song. Do you know Jessica?
Jessica made me listen to it the other day. I said, if you make it, I'm not going to be able to react to it. She's like, fine, listen to it. I did. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I don't think of myself as doing reaction videos, but I'm doing them for fun. And I did this Jessica, and I was so grateful that it wasn't a really sad, heavy one, because you don't know when you watch them, do you? You don't know which path you're going to go down. But no, it was just funny, and it was making me think of being a teenager. And I was like, does he like me? Does he not like me?
My sister, Jessica. All that, so. Everybody calls her Jessica or the cat. She's my post person. She's my older sister. We grew up together because we moved every 3 years, so we're exceedingly close. And she just absolutely loves that song. And I said, "You're ruining the reaction for everybody else." She's like, "I don't care. I'm pulling rank."
No, you can't wait. You can't wait.
Who is the weirdest? I just wanted to ask you a question. Who is the artist outside of Ren and Chinchilla? Who is the artist that you have reacted to and discovered that was a surprise?
I haven't done reaction videos. The very first video I did mentioning this wasn't a reaction video. I did a video speaking to reactors saying, I really like them. I really like watching reaction videos, and I don't think people are telling you enough. And then I got swarmed by a load of Ren fans saying, there's millions of us out here. There's millions of reaction channels and subscribers. And I said, I didn't know it was such a big thing. I thought I was just doing this weird rabbit hole thing of watching the same song over and over again. I had no idea the world
That's how I started.
existed.
I started with wanting people to do Tom McDonald. That's what I started my reactions with, because I wanted other people to hear Tom McDonald because I love him so much. I'm not going to talk about his politics because we don't necessarily agree. But I've warned everyone in the UK, if November 5th didn't go very well, you may wake up one morning and find me hiding in your garden shed. My passport's on its way. I'm just warning you guys.
Yeah.
Prepare the UK.
I'm going to get you off politics for a second. I was just going to thinking the rabbit hole. One of the first ones I went down was Silk Sonic. When you can leave your door open and all that. That's just like, and then I was thinking, when I was watching the original, I was thinking, I don't think they're being serious. I mean, it's fabulous quality music, but it was so much humor in it. And I was thinking, are other people seeing what I'm seeing? So So yeah, then I went down the reaction
I
videos.
absolutely love them. Well,
So
please watch the Skinner Brothers. I think you will really.
I will.
They're weird and wonky and wonderful.
I've made a note.
They're so good.
I feel like drugs.
Oh, that's the one I first listened to. I was asked to do Prawn Soup first, which is also one of my favorite songs. But I listened to I Feel Like Drugs, and it's about positivity and how when he thinks about making it in the music industry. That's all I'll tell you. The song is just delicious and yummy.
Okay. Am I gonna cry?
You're gonna go along with the weirdness that he puts in the music that perfectly goes along with the chorus, the way he designs the music, the elements of the music within, and how it draws you back, and you're like, oh, like slow down the record. It's so great. It's beautiful concept and beautifully executed. For sure.
Okay. I shall do that.
Yeah.
I want to tie this up. Thank you so much for your time and letting me get to know you.
Thank you for having me.
So I know you're Vocal Citizen.
I am.
Is that right? Vocal Citizen.
Yeah.
Do you like to stay on YouTube or do you go other places too? I know you're on Instagram, but do you prefer people to follow you on YouTube?
Well, obviously, I want people to subscribe to me on YouTube, but the best way to get a hold of me is on Instagram.
Yeah.
And unless someone is trying to sell me something or something like that, I engage with a lot of my subscribers. We have chit chats, open threads, stuff like that we do. So Instagram is the best place. I don't use Facebook. I have a Vocal Citizen Facebook, but I don't open Facebook very much. Except to go to the the Ren groups and the Skinner Brother groups and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Twitter I don't really use. So IG's the best place to reach me. I do have a store. It's at redbubble.com.
Redbubble. Okay, I got a Redbubble. Yeah.
Here's my pillow.
Okay. I'm not going to say that, am I? You're trying to get me to say naughty words. Okay.
Because I yell that to my back all the time, so I had to make a pillow. But I have other.
But
I have other stuff. I call my back FUKNUT, all one word. That's the name of my spine.
Okay.
So I yell that at it all the time. But redbubble.com and then search Vocal Citizen. It for some reason it only shows a couple of items, but I have like 9 designs on there. So scroll all the way to the bottom, find the design you like, then scroll all the way to the bottom, and then you can click see all, and there's all kinds of stuff with my
Yeah. And what about your paintings? Do you sell copies of the paintings that you've done, or
I can?
Not yet.
I have a place here in the city where I live that can do museum quality lithographs. I did this one for my sister. It's obviously the Night King. This is called Serenity and Looming. I've got a number of other paintings.
Amazing.
Habs Art Studio did this. She is now the official international artist for the Skinner Brothers because she did the most beautiful painting for them. But she did this for me. I commissioned her to do this. I have sold artwork before. But for the most part, now I'm just doing reaction videos and being a paralegal and going to doctor's appointments. That's my life.
And taking care.
That's my life.
And taking care of yourself
until
too.
my car breaks down ultimately, and then I don't want anybody to be sad. I want them to be like, "Thank God she's gone."
It's a hard thing to talk about, but when you have health stuff, it becomes kind of part of the general conversation, doesn't it? It's like, I could be getting better. I could be staying the same. I might not be. I don't want to do, I don't know, would they call it Pollyanna when you start saying, of course the future is bright and rosy. It's like, no, that doesn't help me. Or that's how I felt.
Spoiler alert, we're all going to die.
It doesn't help me. It doesn't help me. It's like, no, I need to be, whatever happens, future me will be happy that I've done this today.
Yes. And how are you going to live your life? If this is your last hour, are you going to spend it? Oh, I hate everything. The world sucks. Are you going to be like that?
Yeah.
Because that feels way better. It feels way better. Way better. Every time you smile, you burn 4 calories. Did you know that? That's why I'm having trouble keeping weight on. I've had so much fun.
Anyway, thank you. And thank you for being so generous and kind to me. So I'm going to click off and stop now, and then we'll do our final
Okay.
device.
Mhm.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.